beautiful uptown Burbank. Harmontown is now in session. Spencer Crittenden. Oh, what's in that bag? Special stuff in that bag. I don't know, man. Let's bring out the mayor of Harmontown, Dan Harmon.
Thank you. Wow, I think it's a new lighting setup, right? I'm assuming the microphone's further back because it's part of a new lighting setup.
I don't know.
Why do I always start the show in the worst fucking way?
Not just the worst way, but just specifically in like really wondering about whether the microphone's position is important in some way. Like whether it's intentional or haphazard is like, that's been a topic of discussion at the top of the show many times.
Yeah, I guess it's the first thing that I see.
Yeah, no, I'm sure that's why.
It's not a scripted show. It's not. I don't have a plan to talk about anything. I mean, I have a couple notes. I passed a very important romantic threshold on my trip to New Orleans to celebrate Cody's mom's 70th birthday. We went to this city. New Orleans is great. So you like music and food? Who doesn't? I don't understand that part of it. I'm not yelling at them. They've been through enough, but I just don't understand. Who doesn't like music and food? And what if I go to your city that's famous for its food? So you got your Portland, let's say your Asheville, North Carolina. We've been to Austin, New Orleans,
the big food cities.
The food cities where it's like, oh, all the food's good, and it is. We always go there. If you go to these cities and open a bad restaurant, is it just that it's the momentum of the capitalistic biosphere there? Like, just people wouldn't go. They go, this food's terrible. I'm a Portlandier. I know the difference. I'm not gonna. And then you would. So like these are just cities that have created an ecosystem of foodieism.
So you're mad at New Orleans for liking food and for liking music.
I'm just wondering if it's all a scam. You just say your city is the home of good food, and then people just go, this is delicious. Like, I'm kind of suspicious of it because I ate a lot of things called like Creole omelets, and they really tasted like omelets.
You're not supposed to get a Creole omelet. You're supposed to get a bag of crawdads or some fucking, a beignet and shit.
And what is this obsession with the Saints marching in? Like that's a really horrible song. It's about the apocalypse. It's an apocalyptic biblical song.
Right.
It's zealotry.
It's about picking the right team.
Anyways, that's not what I wanted to talk about. I was in a hotel room and we were going to go out to breakfast, and I didn't at any time, and I suddenly noticed, I never, as we were leaving the hotel room, I never made sure that both Cody and I had a key. And I always did that. I was married, and I've never stayed in a hotel room with somebody and didn't make sure that we both had keys when we left the room.
Right.
So this means that I've let go of something in the back of my head as I leave a hotel room with Cody. Like, I'm like, I imagine we'll be coming back together.
Oh. Or that's assuming we're coming back together no matter what.
Well, I mean, you could look at it as clingy, but I think it's more unhealthy that I was always like prepared for the event of coming home separately.
Right.
Like, well into my marriage, I was still like, well, stitch in time. It's a weird thing to be prepared for, like, you never know.
Now you feel healthy because you, like...
Yeah, it never even occurred to me. Like, it was like the third time we went out, I was like, oh shit, I haven't had a hotel key this whole time. I'm like totally comfortable being completely dependent on this woman.
See, it sounds pretty codependent.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's a good move in the right direction for me.